Episode 2, Season 3, Daniel Victor and myself, Marcel Flores, are back for more. Today we're talking a little bit about our personal relationships to literature, how easy or hard it might just be for both of us to read at a pace that we're happy with. But we're also talking about a larger topic of the moral compass and shit that we got away with or didn't, and however small that may be for me, however massive it may be for Dan, all of this is not real. Please enjoy the episode.
I missed it. I mean, I don't know about the mouse thing. No one cares.
What is
Are you
that?
rapping on this? Wait, you want me to?
I thought this would be...
Hold on. No,
Do better.
I'm trying.
Dude.
The chill guy with the dog meme. But he's got like dreads. And he's standing on the beach. And the caption is just, "Me think me one take my own life." Oh, it's fucking stupid.
I'm excited for today's episode. You're bringing lunatic energy to this table today, but
Yeah.
that's what's up.
I mean, like, you know, you got to keep it real. We're trying to keep it
I mean,
real, you know?
Get it?
You gotta keep it real, guys.
Get it.
You're getting what you get. Dude, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, no, I'm excited for it. So, like, I'm gonna get hungry towards the end, so I might get hangry.
Ooh, let's go.
As another thing.
Hangry would be crazy to see on the air.
Would it?
I don't know. I was like, yeah, dude, that's what I feel. You're like, shut the fuck up, dude. Give me a sandwich.
Gluten free, motherfucker.
Give me a wrap. Give me a lettuce wrap.
I'm probably gonna cut all of that out because it went on for longer than it needed to.
Oh man.
Hey man, week was good. Week was weird.
Weird.
Well, yeah, weird once again. Had a couple days where I'm trying to figure. I think I discovered something very fundamental about myself.
Fundamental.
I need breakfast when you move a lot.
Wow.
You need calories for when you burn them.
That was a fundamental.
That's
discovery.
crazy, dude. What isn't that wild?
What, you fast in the morning?
What? I mean, if you're new age and like you want to call it that, sure. Like I just don't like having breakfast.
Really?
I don't really like to eat things in the morning.
So you would always work out fasted? No, nothing in your body at all?
No, it's funny. No, literally, like we used to do Tone House, like which is one of the toughest workouts in the city. Like literally, like I would almost throw up every time, and I was like, "What the fuck would I eat beforehand?" Because then I will throw up because I just showed up, you know, like not on empty stomach.
Right.
Now, same with a marathon. Didn't fucking eat anything.
Before at all?
No. I ate the night before. I carb loaded like crazy. I can't eat. What do you mean? I want to shit myself the whole entire way. No, but apparently now because I have been moving a lot, like I need to slow down. I'm noticing, like I'm doing too much. My biceps, my forearms, like especially the climbing and the tennis, like my arms, just getting so massive,
so big, so vascular.
It's getting so painful. Like
really,
literally, like my biceps get this like numbing pain, and I feel like a little bit. I've like 10 minutes of climbing and shit. Like it's just. I tried to warm up properly. Like it's a question of I think just stretching out more and like. Damn. I gotta get better at recovery.
You're also doing a lot of stuff, dude.
I've been doing it, so I need to dial it back a bit. I need to eat more. I need to like find a little bit of balance. So that's what last week kind of taught me about myself, where I felt like, okay, it's cool to push, but I need to also like the marathon was a bigger thing. I need to kind of let it sit. I need to digest it. I need to now give time to like work on my legs and shit. Like, yeah. I feel like I talk about this every week, but yesterday I did something really cool that I haven't done in a long time. I read a book in a day.
But a full book?
I read a book in a day. And it wasn't for always and forever. Like, I know I'm saying this now and I'm saying this in a public manner and this is kind of defeating the point of what I'm about to say. But I feel like I always used to like try to read fast so I could say I read fast.
Oh,
right?
Really?
Like I'd want to finish a book so I could say I finished a book in a day, right? Type shit.
It's the nerdiest shit ever.
Yeah, I was like, that was going to make me cool. You know what I mean? Like,
hey, guys, you'll never guess what I fucking did yesterday. What, Marcel? Fucking finished that book.
A whole book, cover to cover? That's
How
cool.
many pages?
Like, not that crazy, like 220.
That's a lot of pages.
That's some page, but this is my point. Now, shut the fuck up. Let me get to the goddamn thing. So
hanger.
I always... It might be a little.
Here we go.
I'm like, no patience for this shit today. No, I used to do it because I felt like, okay, I was going to look cool, be perceived as like the smart kid. But at the same time, also, like, it's nice to be able to absorb that much information in a short amount of time.
Are you actually absorbing it?
Well, yes. Yeah. I mean, yesterday I read a novel. I read Paulo Coelho's Veronika Decides to Die.
Oh, haven't read that one.
Neither had I. That's why I read it. And it was fucking beautiful. It was, for the first time in my life, I think, a situation where like I didn't want to put the book down. Like it's not like I had to force myself to, so I could then say the thing or say to myself even, like not like I literally was like, it was so good, it was so interesting, it was so well written. It's about death and life and the choices we make in between those two, and how really like if you let death inform life, you just live so much more free. And that's a lot about madness, and I thought that was really fucking cool.
Madness.
So like, yeah, like what it means to be mad, how you would define normal. Because at the end of the day, there's this little like parable, and then I'll pass it off to you, but this little parable that comes up in the book that's about this guy who poisons, this is a medieval setting, this guy poisons the well with a toxin that makes everybody go crazy. Everybody's affected in this kingdom, but the king and queen themselves, because they have their own separate well, which the culprit didn't get to. So upon seeing that their whole fucking kingdom went berserk, they tried to instill these rules and regulations to keep everybody safe. Yeah. And the people reacted in a way that was like, no, fuck you. You've gone crazy. All of us we're making sense. Like, this is normal. You're being weird. We're going to get you fucking killed. To which then the queen says to her husband, like, hey, yo, we should just drink from the same well. And everything goes back to normal. So, like, if you think, like, and I think, obviously not the right choice, one might argue, objectively speaking, but really, really interesting on, like, what constitutes being crazy and how being crazy is a much more liberating and freeing way, because at the end of the day, like, no two leaves out in the world look alike, the same way that no two people, even twins, right, like aside, but you know what the fuck I'm talking about. Just that everybody is so fucking unique, and that we're all so afraid to be different, when that's literally just the nature of things, right? Like, to just be yourself, and we have to fight. So that was my Sunday. So I couldn't. Wild. It was so well written. It was the stories were fucking crazy. Like,
what time did you start? What time did you finish?
It took me six hours. 5 and a half, I think. But like, I spent I started a little bit up until lunch. 2 to 2.5 hour spurts, I think. Yeah, but I felt like exactly the shit I needed to read. I do believe that, like, I've looked at this book 1,000 times already. It's Clara's book. And yesterday morning, earlier, I was like, I took it, I grabbed it, I sat down. It was the perfect timing for me to read it. I believe that things do work out like that, where I'm like, you grab the book, you hear the, I don't know, you watch the YouTube video, or you see the Instagram post that is meant for you in that moment, that'll actually like help get you to the next place. Because I think, especially after the week I'd had, where I felt like I was getting a little bit too icky, a little bit too stuck in my like, oh, you got to do this. And then it was a really nice reminder to be like, yo, what do you want? How do you want to do this? How do you think you'll actually feel the best way you fucking possibly can right now? So like, forget about, I slipped into like what I think this should look like. I don't want to. I want to live my life. And that's like the path that I've been on, is like trying to figure out what it looks like to live Marcel's life if no one else fucking dictates it. And I think that book was a really nice reminder to just not give a fucking shit about what is expected of you. So it was a cool week.
That's
a cool week.
That's sick to end the week on reading an actual full novel. I've ever done that. I've been reading the same novel for a couple months now, I think. I'm on page like 30. I'm like, I have to start reading earlier in the day, because I like, if I read at night, like I'll read at night and I'll just fall asleep. I'll read like 2 pages. Which book is it? Sahil Bloom's The 5 Types of Wealth. Okay. Great book, and the worst part is it's resonating with me. And when I read it, I'm like, dude, this is so helpful. I need to like dial it in and like lock into this. This is like very, very insightful. And like a lot, even like the earlier chapters, I'm still in them, but they're like, I'm realizing even the first, even the introduction, even the first was really 30 pages, which I somehow can't get past, are really speaking to me. But no, it's like, it's great so far. I just think I need to read in the morning, because if I read at night, like I've been doing, I will fall asleep after like a page and a half. That's why it's taking me like 2 months to get to like page 36. I get that. I read the first Harry Potter in like a year and a half. So really? I'm with you. Like I'm not a fast reader. This is by no means normal. A tip for you to think about. Like, I started reading sitting at a table like we are right now, rather than in a couch, or especially in bed, because immediately, man, like I'm gone. Yeah. But sitting reading upright
has a whole different effect on like also my retention, like my attentiveness to the whole thing. So like maybe I want to try that.
Audiobooks too, dude. I don't know. I think I've talked about this in the podcast before, but I still love audiobooks. Like, especially if you're like a big exercising person or like you're just like driving. When I used to drive a lot, I would crush audiobooks. Yeah. But I've been doing them on runs. Like I'll listen to stuff and just zone out, listen to a book.
Yeah, you said that before.
Did I tell you about the Court of Thorns and Roses audiobook?
No.
No? We haven't talked about this?
Court of Thorns and Roses?
Oh, dude. Does Clara read those books?
No, I don't think I've ever heard what you just said.
Or Fourth Wing or any of those?
No, that sounds like it's a little sci-fi.
Oh, it's like smut fantasy.
She doesn't. She's not super into fantasy. Like she loves Harry Potter.
And I mean,
kind of starts and ends there.
Well, I feel like, dude, it's been like such a huge wave. I mean, and I could be late to it. I don't know, but Em's been reading. She started off reading like ACOTAR, A Court of Thorns and Roses, which is like a 7-book series. Maybe it's 5. I don't know.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah.
They're huge. They're like big books, but it's like there's a whole world that's being built. There's like ACOTAR, there's Fourth Wing or whatever. But she was like, you should read these too, because I think you'd like them. Because I love like fantasy stuff. Like I'll read about like dragons, whatever. It's cool.
Plus you love porn.
Yeah, love porn. So she's like, you should read it. So I get on Audible and I'm like looking for these books, and they have 2 versions. They've got the version where it's just read straight through by like somebody, like a voice actor, and then they have a dramatized version, which will have a full cast of people reading the different characters and music. And I'm like, dude, obviously going to go for that one.
Yeah, right.
So much cooler. The issue is
because why rely on your own creativity?
Yeah, well, no, it's just so much cooler. Like you you could put the voices to the characters.
No,
so,
for sure, I get that, but like I think the idea is right. Like a lot of people enjoy that because they create those voices in their heads for themselves, which I can't do either. But I think simple-minded folks like you and I maybe
the fuck with us. The layman.
Give me the.
Yeah, can I have it
what am I supposed to think?
Spoon-fed to me, please?
Thank you.
With music.
But actually, like I think yeah.
Anyway. So, you get to these spicy parts in the books, and it's like very graphic, and it's like, and I'm running. I'm like trying to jog around the park, and all I'm hearing is like, oh my God. It's like he jammed into me with a force that was like, and you're just like, oh my God. Like I'm like running, jogging past these people listening to like straight up porn in my headphones. Anyway, Audible's great. Love, big fan of audiobooks. Just depends on what you want to read. There's some that are better than others. I highly recommend, if you're going to read the fantasy smut, that maybe you don't dive into the dramatized versions unless you're into that stuff. It's just weird to listen to in public.
Yeah. No, I get that. Like on a speaker.
Yeah.
On a boombox in the park. Just, $5 says you won't.
But dude, the week was cool. It was good. Busy. I think definitely busy getting back into like the swing of things. I busted my ass on a run. Did I tell you about that? I like tripped on some uneven pavement like on a run. And then,
what, this weekend?
This past week, I think Wednesday.
How have you not told me that? We hang out like every day.
Well, I want to save some stuff for the podcast. I was also low-key embarrassed because I'm like jogging and I'm like feeling great. I'm like, all right, cool. It's got to get a little joggy in, and like not even a quarter mile into the run, I like slipped on some uneven pavement and just like fell forward. Like those like falls where you're like, it's like a long step.
Oh, like you almost had it?
Yeah, I was trying to stay up and then ended up just like curling up and like railing into a fence. So
this sounds way more intense than what I had pictured in my head. That sounds pretty bad.
It was all right. I mean, it was embarrassing more than anything because there's like a couple in front of me that was walking, and it was like pretty loud because I think I was like, oh, and they turn around and they're like, are you okay? And I didn't fall, thankfully, because I just like stayed up, but I was definitely like, oh, I'm fine, I'm good. And I was like, trying to rub it off, but scraped up my arm pretty bad on my back, but I'm all good now.
Oh, well, Daniel.
Maybe we'll throw a photo in here what my back looks like. It looks like I got slashed, but like a creature. Yeah,
all right,
it's cool.
But you don't. Okay, so you said you felt embarrassed over that?
Yeah, I mean, at first I did. Then I was like, dude, there's only 2 people on the sidewalk right now, and like maybe let's say tops 5 people that saw me. That I can be like, I saw somebody fall on the sidewalk today. So, and I was like, I don't care.
But look, if you and I were out, right, and there's a dude 3 who's running, who's tripping and falling, right? Like we'd fucking think that's super funny.
Absolutely.
Right? So like
I thought it was hilarious.
There's nothing. Like,
I was
I'm
embarrassed.
surprised
Like,
that you, like,
but my part was
like,
like,
I would literally like,
so
this is,
fucking
literally,
funny.
I would look up and like, I would probably have said like, I'm glad you guys saw that. Like, like fucking please go ahead, laugh. Like, let loose. Like,
I was definitely chuckling.
Afterwards,
I was like, that hurts, but like that was pretty funny that I almost just ate shit and like stayed up and was trying to play it off like I wasn't hurting. So
yeah,
it was definitely hurting.
This is such a. I feel like that. Yes, sometimes when it's really painful, it's really painful. You can't fucking help it. But I think that's where, as a really big lesson for me as a teenager, like, or boy going teenager to then becoming, I want to say a man. I guess this podcast is about masculinity. Let's call it becoming a man. When I stopped feeling so shitty about when something embarrassing would happen to me, because like, the only thing, if you look back on like all these situations, the only thing that really makes it bad is if you feel bad about what just happened.
True.
Right? Like if you just, and this is for anybody out there who might still be struggling with that, fucking like laugh at yourself, loosen up, shit happens. Like I think it's this, for me, it's obviously just like high school idea of like, fuck, like you fuck up once and like people will talk about it. Like they're like, literally, fucking Nelson in his bitch. And that stays with you. But kids suck.
Yeah.
Like kids just straight up fucking suck.
But also to that point, I think we talked about that being a sign of true friendship. I think it starts when you're younger. If you got friends that'll like shit on you relentlessly, it's like kind of like hey, you're my boy and I love you, but you embarrass yourself, I'm gonna let you know.
Yeah.
At least for me.
For sure. But
to an extent.
No, for sure. And like a lot of the people that I'm thinking about in this scenario now ended up being my friends, but for a long, long time they really truly weren't. Like I would argue that they weren't actually like you gotta have like I get what you're saying, like this laughing at you, like this playful teasing, but it's only ever fun if you bring it back to like just playing, bro. I love
it. There's definitely a difference.
Yeah, for sure.
Between playful teasing and just like
actually fuck, exactly. Where I'm like, so if that's not what's up there,
that was a plane.
Sorry. It's like fuck, what's up there?
It's getting pretty close to the tower. Hold on.
Not again.
Oh damn it.
Right. Well. That's in there now. I saw a wonderful like there's this reel of this little kid who's talking about how like fapping should be an Olympic sport. Like
the gooning.
Where he's like, let's go 6, baby, let's go. And there was one comment under there that I will absolutely replicate. Like I think it read verbatim, "Premium digital footprint you're leaving here, little bro." I was like, that is spot on what that little homie should be worried about.
So funny.
Premium digital footprint you're leaving here, little bro. Really fucking good.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. So I wanted to. You kind of already leaned into this a little bit. Getting away with listening to porn while running on a thing, but you wanted to ask me / share some stories of where you got away with shit.
Well, I thought today would be a great day to talk about like because you brought it to like a cool place. I think we can like not just shoot the shit about it. Moral compass. Like where does your moral compass fall? What kind of person are you? How do you? Because like I view it in like video game terms. You know how like if you ever play Fallout?
No.
Damn. Okay. There goes that fucking reference. Sometime, if you're playing the game Fallout, and I think, correct me if I'm wrong, anyone on the internet listening, you can go from like being a bad guy, like a criminal, to being like a hero, But there's like a bunch in the middle where it's like it's not just good and bad. There's like good, there's neutral, there's chaotic good, there's chaotic evil, there's law-abiding citizen, there's complete opposite of law-abiding citizen, whatever. Right. So I just want to know where you think you stand, and maybe some evidence to support the claim of where you got that label for yourself.
Okay. I definitely think I've got a strong moral compass. Okay. First of all, like I think for the large majority it overlaps with the law. Okay. I think the only times I'm giving myself leniency is if it's working out in the bigger picture, like the ends justify the mean type thing. The end justify the means. Yeah. Sorry, there's a Michael Scott quote there. The ends justify the mean, being mean. Yeah. That's literally slipped in there. Like, something's off with that. Okay, I wrote something down since you did prep me for this.
No, dude, hell yeah. Also, random, before we even get in this, dude, fuck,
Yeah.
marry, kill, Mickey, Goofy, and Donald. There's only one right answer.
Marry Mickey, fuck Goofy, kill Donald.
I don't know. I think you gotta fuck Donald and kill Goofy, I think. But
I don't know. I feel like Goofy would be a fun time.
You think? Like,
Like,
this
not
feels good. I'm choking on it. That's
I feel like he'd probably go deep throat easy. You know,
I guess you're
like
right.
a nice, like he works that shit a lot.
Donald just looks like so fluffy and fun. Anyway, but marrying Mickey was the right answer. Anyway,
Right?
back to your,
Like,
yeah. Sorry,
America's
I
sweetheart.
wrote that down. I was like, I have to get that out before I forget about it. So, you know.
Cool.
But there is one right answer.
Well,
Anyway, moral compass.
subway turnstiles. Do you jump subway turnstiles or no?
No. I think I have one time when I was I think it wasn't taking my card.
Okay.
And I was like, I've tried to pay twice.
Oh, yeah.
If this machine can't figure it out, doesn't deserve my money.
Got it.
Jumped
okay,
it.
cool. Yeah, all right.
I pay every time.
Nice.
Even if
okay,
someone's holding the door open.
Yeah, nice. Okay, cool. So that was a bigger thing for me, where I when I was broke living in the city and like shit was getting more expensive, like I would be more lenient in the MTA subway, where I would like, okay, doors open, I know like there's no cops here, whatever, I'd hop the thing, and it was okay for me. I tried recently doing it at the Path because the Path is also like $3 a ride. It's like not cheap, but it's also a much smaller, like, operation, and like I feel like they run a pretty tight ship. Like there's no delay. I was like, and literally after doing it twice, I was like, I feel bad a little. Like, I was like, and like I see people doing it constantly. I was like, you know what? No, fuck it. Like I literally couldn't live with myself. But that was a recent thing. Another thing like that I still get like my heart starts pounding over is like I'll go to Chipotle. Yeah. And there's you know Tabasco, right? Like
Yeah, Tabasco sauce.
Yeah. So the green one, there's one and only meal. One and only one meal in the world where I eat it with what? Am I having a stroke? Green Tabasco goes on one meal only for me, and that's Chipotle.
Okay.
I don't eat it with anything else.
Okay.
Right? And I need a lot of it. Like it's literally half my meal is like guac and hot sauce.
Right.
So when I go to a Chipotle and I go get takeout, I'll take a whole bottle.
Oh yeah.
Of the Tabasco.
Like off the table?
Off the table. Because I genuinely, like, I've done it before many times where I'm like, I'll take the plastic cup, right? And I'll fill it literally to the fucking brim, which is half the bottle, a little more than. Because that's how much I know. I literally use half a bottle of Tabasco every time I eat Chipotle.
Right.
So I was like, I'll just grab the thing because next time I won't. And then over 2 times, I'll have saved them 2 plastic cups rather than like I've stolen the thing.
Right.
But this is how my like thing works. Like, if you look at it from like a superficial view, it's wrong. Like, what the fuck are you taking the whole bottle? But if you think about it, I'm not. Because I genuinely only ever use it. There's not once in my life would I use green Tabasco on anything else. If anything, it's the red that goes on like eggs and shit. But like,
right.
I just don't do it. So like, I'm not really stealing from you because literally, if anything, it's having the hot sauce that's going to get me back to you so I can use the hot sauce to eat the food.
Right. I see that. So when you say that is the extent of your law-abiding citizenness?
Yeah.
Like, do you feel bad? You don't feel bad about that?
I don't once I'm done, but while I'm doing it, I feel like somebody might catch me, and then I have to explain the thing, and then
but
that might be
like
weird.
Justified. Like that doesn't like stick with you. You're like, oh man, like that's
no.
Like you
no,
don't lose sleep over.
No,
Okay.
I have a tough time losing sleep over shit for 2 reasons. One, like I'm weak. I'm just weak. I'm weak. I'm a weak bitch. So like if I'm losing sleep over it, like I will probably like I love my sleep. I'll probably go apologize, confront myself. Like I'll do whatever I can to undo what I did, or I need to put in work to like reconcile with myself that it is actually okay and does fit within my moral compass that what I did was okay. I have a bigger one that I want to get into, but run me because I have a feeling this is about to sound very different. What's your moral compass like? What rating would you give yourself now, and what rating would you give yourself 10 years ago?
Ooh, I think 10 years ago, well, maybe even like more than 10 years ago. 10 years ago, we're in 2025. I think I was still in college, junior in college.
Or pick 50 and pick like an interesting time.
Yeah,
where
no, I think back in the day it was more like chaotic neutral, maybe, or like I don't want to say bad. Well, you know, maybe a little more like chaotic rebel sort of. But I think now I'm more chaotic good. You know?
Okay.
I think there's never gonna be there's never gonna be no chaos in my like wheel of morality. Because I've done some shit, dude. I've gotten away with like some fucking shit. But the thing is, back in the day, I wouldn't just mess with people to mess with people. I would be like, I'm getting even. I think we talked about this on an episode about the guy who pissed in my shoes.
Yeah.
It wasn't like I'm gonna go after you because I think it's fun, or I just want to see the world burn, or I don't like you. It was like you would have to cross some sort of line to then make me be like, oh, if we're gonna play dirty like that, no one's dirtier than me, you know? So there was one time, there's a bunch of times, but one time, I mean, there was this, I don't even know how to start this story. We hang out with some friends this is like back in high school. So, you know, good luck getting me for anything now. But there was one time we used to drive around this like development and just like, I think I've told you, just like vandalize shit, just mess with people's houses and stuff. Like that was, you know, pretty messed up, but
super fun stuff.
There was one time when we brought these girls along and they were like, we want to come, we heard you guys do this stuff and we want to like come with you and see. And I was like, no, it's so dumb. Stupid. And then they were like, but there's this girl we don't like and like we really want to get back to her because she's talking to my ex-boyfriend and all this stuff. And I was like, all right, yeah, fine, you know. So
do it for the story type shit?
For the story. But also like
do it for the girl, do it for the story, or do it both.
It was like, but like, you know, it was always like this like Robin Hood, like I'm doing good by doing bad mentality thing where it was like, you know, I'm getting even. I'm helping somebody else by getting even with the person that I wanted to be like a fucking vigilante hero or something. Who knows?
Okay.
Anyway, driving through the neighborhood, come up on this girl's house, and we drive by, and I've got a paintball gun in the car. And I'm like, hey, check this shit out. Roll the window down. And I'm like, buddy, slow down. And it's like, just like pepper the house all over this. Like, and it's like middle of the night. So I don't know if they were awake. I don't know, whatever. So we pepper, we drive away.
Actual drive-by.
Yeah. Everyone's laughing. It's hilarious. I'm like, no, we can go back and do more. I'm not done. So we circle back. And I stick some fireworks in the lawn. and I light these fireworks off in their front lawn. I'm like, all right, we gotta get out of here. It's great. We go. Nothing happens, right? This is a funny story. This must have been like October.
Nothing happens. Funny story.
It must have been like October, right?
Okay. Why'd you just have fireworks ready?
Oh, dude, I had everything ready, bro. I
was like Dennis the Menace.
Yeah, I was like one of those kids that like really just like if we're doing the bit, I'm gonna commit really hard to the bit. Like if we're vandalizing stuff, like if we were vandalizing stuff, I was like, all right, we're gonna bring like staple guns and rubber cement and make Molotov cocktails and like all sorts of just like we was like we're gonna have fun with it. We're gonna go do bad stuff. Let's go have fun with it. Yeah. Anyway, there's the chaos. Like that's the chaotic, and there's a little bit of good in there.
Thank God you reined that shit back in. Holy,
I know,
wow.
dude.
You could have ended up on a very different path.
The amount of times I could have been in jail is like frightening to me. So like the irony is not lost on me. Like it's insane that I can stand here and talk about this stuff as a free man and not like in a cell somewhere.
You mean as an actor because this is a performance?
Yes. No, it's all a joke. If you guys like my comedy bit, let me know.
He's here every Monday.
Yeah, I'm here every Monday.
Fucking 3 hours earlier now.
Anyway, those girls that were with us ended up bragging about what happened. And word got back to the girl whose house it was. So, and this like was over the course of a couple months. So like, I think it was like end of October, early November. December rolls around. I'm home with my family and I get this message on Facebook that's like, hey, I know it was you that drove by my house and fucking paintballed stuff. I'm telling my dad and my dad's going to go to the police. I got that message on like Christmas Day. And I'm like, freaking out. I'm like, oh my God. Like so I was like, oh my gosh. So I'm like texting my home, like, dude, how did this get back to her? Like, did someone talk about it? Like what happened? And it turns out that the girls were like, yeah, bragging about, oh yeah, we went out with so-and-so and we like did this, whatever. Anyway.
Who could have seen that one coming?
I did not. I did not, apparently.
You live, you learn.
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. Anyway, got away with it somehow because Christmas Day, I pulled out this like, listen, I am so sorry I did that to your house. I have no idea what urged me to do that. I was with some people that they just wanted to have a good time, and I really fell into the bad crowd and whatever and yada yada. Christmas is a time of forgiveness, and I'm here with my family, and the thought of me having to tell my family that, I'd have to ruin the holiday for them and, get picked up by, police or whatever is awful. I am happy to pay for whatever damages. Like, it's just this whole long thing. I think, I don't remember exactly. This could be like just me speculating. I think she responded and was like, okay, like, thank you for the apology. It's either she said, thank you for the apology, don't worry about it, or she just never responded and nothing ended up happening. But somehow I got away with that, and I was like, oh my God. Nuts. Craziness. Anyway, that was a good, I thought, chaotic good story where in my head I was like, we're doing good because we're helping somebody get back on someone that they don't like, but very chaotic energy. And that was one of those things that I got away with, and I definitely should not have given the circumstances, but I think the spirit of Christmas really pulled out for me, Yeah, that you're looking at me like, what the fuck, dude?
Like, I feel like there's like at least like 10 dudes listening right now that are fucking losing it. That are like, right, and they're like, why the fuck is Marcel not reacting? Well, I'm like, my brain is trying to comprehend. I'm literally, I'm like, I think I'm sweating. I think my heart is tight. I think my heart is
sweating
tight
more than me on Christmas. Let me tell you, with my family, I had to look at my mom and dad and be like, "Oh my God, you guys might get a phone call soon. Like, this is fucking crazy."
Yeah, that's fucking wild.
Nuts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
There's more. I mean, I don't know.
No, I mean, I've heard the other one.
Yeah, you did.
No idea who I got into bed with here, literally.
But yeah, no, chaotic good.
Yeah.
I think now.
Well, I mean, look. Okay, so I'll challenge that. Because if the girl was fucking around, say she truly was, a lot of the time, as you might know by now as well, people kind of skew the reality so it works out in their favor.
Absolutely.
So whether that girl was messing around with another girl's boy, whatever, who the fuck knows, cares. But like, did you, the girl doesn't carry the responsibility of the house being paintballed, right? Like that's on the parents.
Oh, like the victim.
Yeah.
What do you mean carry the responsibility?
Well, like as in like, you're not attacking her. You're essentially attacking her parents, right? Because they're the ones with the burden to fix the house up, right?
I guess.
Do you know what I mean?
I never thought about it that way. I was just like, because I never even thought about parents.
Yeah.
It was just like whatever.
Yeah, I mean, as a kid, it's one thing. Like,
Yeah.
I think this is me now looking back on it. Well, like, we're talking moral compass.
Oh,
like,
absolutely.
and I think that's what would have probably kept me occupied mentally.
Well, thinking about it now, for sure.
Right.
Like thinking like, okay, this could be a funny prank in the moment.
Right.
But someone's gonna wake up, having worked super hard to have this house, and like, it's their pride and joy, and now they have to spend money figuring out who did this, A, why it happened, B, and removing everything. Like, that's brutal.
But I think okay. So look, so interesting in my head. Consolation, that's not. You could have when like this you could have doubled down, right? You could have actually turned it into something good and put the whole thing on her if she truly fucked up or no. Because you could have said on Christmas Day is like, I'm not the one who stole so and so's boyfriend, so maybe you shouldn't be talking.
Ooh. See, but then I feel like if you fight fire with fire in that sense, she's like, all right, have fun with the cops. They're like. Like that's worst case scenario. I definitely backpedaled super.
For sure. But I think, like if you hadn't gone as extreme as you did,
for sure,
right? And like you used whatever pressure or leverage you would have created for yourself that's not necessarily fucking property damage, right? You could have been like, well, yeah, you could go tell your parents, but then you might also want to tell them why this happened in the first place because I'm going to let them know, type shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I feel like that's the Robin Hood leverage of like continuing to like actually making sure that people get their like lesson out of what
that is true. I never did any of that. I never did any of that. Like, well, this is why.
And
this is
literally,
why I've passed my judgment.
But this is how my brain would work. Where I'm like, okay, good. If I can make sure nobody else would get like, not that I still would do this, but like how if I had done it,
yeah,
because we all fucking succumb to like urges, right? Like some
sure.
were maybe a little crazier, others also crazy, just different, not as crazy.
Right.
But then once I'm in it, I would have been like, okay, good. Either I would have came clean earlier, right? But then maybe with like a low-key, like, sorry, like, or I can make it right in my head. And I would have had to make it right in my head if I convinced myself that I did this truly because I was convinced that she was a bad person for doing what she did to my friends type thing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I get it.
Like what I told you before, like I'm one of two things. Like either I would have caved way early or I would have in my head been like, no, I did the right thing.
Yeah. I think my default was just like I did the right thing because it was fun and I had fun.
That's not how
that
works
it's not,
for me. That's
not.
crazy.
Now I feel like now I could definitely be like that kind of petty and revengeful, but not to that extent ever again, dude. That's why I'm like, terrified for kids growing up now because like there's cameras everywhere.
Yeah,
the amount of stuff I got away with as a kid.
I mean, you know what? Maybe we'll keep them a little bit more in some tighter parameters.
Yeah.
I mean, look, we all I think do fucking dumb shit when we're younger, and I think the main point is getting over it. Like and this is like my big one. When I was in, I had a lot of relationships in my life, and some shorter, some longer. But for a couple of them, I knew that the relationship was over. It was not like it wasn't going to go anywhere. Like it was done. But I couldn't get myself to just have the conversation. So I would cheat.
Oh yeah.
And then feel so horrible about myself.
Yeah.
To have to break up.
Yeah.
Type thing. And that's super shitty. Don't get me wrong. Like I know that, but it's not coming from like a douchebag place or anything. Like it's coming from weakness, like straight up weakness. Like I didn't know how to like stand up for what I believed was the right thing. And
or even like confront somebody and say, hey, this is over.
Exactly.
You know,
it's such a hard thing. And I've ended a lot of relationships, like all but one actually that I've ever been in. I've ended, and like it's been easier and it's been harder. But in a couple of situations, I actually like forced myself to I forced my own hand in a way. And that is something I got away with also, like, you know what I mean? And that's my moral compass there has always been, this is what I've convinced myself of. Like, again, not that I would do this anymore in the future. I've over the past 2 years, specifically, learned so much to like choose myself and choose that it's okay for me to step up for what I want in life. But when I was less able to do so, I would convince myself that this is the right thing, because if they never find out that I cheated, there's no actual harm done, right? Which, as far as I know, never happened. When I literally set out to do this thing, it was very like tactical in that sense. So there was no extra pain, and it ended a relationship that needed to end because I wasn't happy in it. So like if I hadn't done that, it would have just dragged on and it would have wasted more of their time. So for me, this was like, as long as they never found out, it was a win-win situation. Yeah. And it's crazy. Like if you see anybody else do this, and what it might sound like to a lot of people listening or watching, is like, oh, what a fucking douchebag, right? Like I could see that. But at the end of the day, like the more I live, the more I'm learning to understand literally every person and what their motivations might be, right? Like to not jump to conclusions. Because I'm trying to do an okay job of like describing what my intention was, and like at the same time knowing that my limitations were, so I couldn't do the thing. So I found another way to do it in order to like not cause any more pain than necessary, right? Yeah.
Which is interesting, because like I feel like you're causing a lot of self pain with it. You like, you know, like you feel awful.
Exactly. So like I'd rather take the I would rather take the thing, right? Because then, and like at least it's like, yeah, but I'm also like, you know, sleeping around with someone, which another younger Marcel, that was a large part for him that was like important. So like at least I got that. Like at least I got my sexual freedom back. But like I'll have the pain. But like it's just crazy that there's a lot of things going on, and like there's so many different motivations and like reasons for people doing what they do. And I think what I've learned and what I wanted to bring up with Moral Compass as a whole is learning to not only forgive others for the shit that they may have done to you and how they'd wronged you, but also to forgive yourself if you truly feel like you've understood what you've done wrong and you have no intent of like repeating the thing. to the level of like, you know why you did it, you know what part of you was like, you know, and you're taking actions right now to better that. Like, for example, in my relationship now, I bring shit up that I feel that bothers me. I do it constantly. So like, it would, not that I ever see this going that way, but like it would never come to the place where I'm like, oh, hey, I can't tell you my feelings, because like all I've been doing is I'm working on telling you my feelings regularly.
Right.
So you know how I'm feeling. There's no way that it could get to this place, right? So I know that I'm doing the work. And it's every time like a tiny bit of a fraction of like that same feeling I used to get when I had to break up with someone. I was like, oh shit, I got to tell them how I'm feeling and they might not like it, right? But rather than letting it build to this huge thing that I can't handle anymore, I'm choosing to like put a little vent on my feelings and like let them out bit by bit.
Right.
It's like, here you are. So I can't explode. So I won't ever be in that situation again. And I think as long as I know that I'm actually putting in the work, not theoretically in the future, not like, oh, I'm not doing it right now, but I also won't do it again because I know it was bad. I said that before, I wouldn't do that again, but I did it again because I didn't fix the thing continuously.
Right.
I just told myself, oh, that felt bad, don't do it again. Versus, how do I not do it again? Is by being myself on a daily basis. Yeah, needed to talk a little bit more about that because
That's solid, though. I mean, it was good that you actually brought this to a talking topic.
Yeah, no, it's
swapping stories
for sure. It's like, oh, by the way,
yeah.
like, did this.
No, that's good though, because I think I had a point too that, and I think we've already talked about it already ad nauseum. I'm sure I've said this a million times, but who you hang out with actually matters. I think like the people that I was hanging out with back in the day were the kind of people that, you know, we'd go out and vandalize and fuck around and stuff, and you know, like we've all reformed and stuff, but I think that would be my thought. Like people that I feel like your moral compass adjusts
for sure
based on who you're around, who you're spending time with. So maybe just keep that in mind when, like, you know, analyzing your friends and what kind of stuff you're getting into.
Well, I think it's literally what we've talked about this with the marathon before, like normalizing. And I mentioned in the beginning with the king and his kingdom, right? Like, at the end of the day, you'll consider normal what is done around you regularly.
Correct.
So that's the direct correlation to what you're saying. Exactly. Like if everybody's doing it, you're like, all right, well, they're fucking doing it. It's a literal like sheep effect where you just, yeah, but everybody's doing it. So like, why the fuck wouldn't I?
Right.
Not knowing that if you ran with a different crowd, not knowing that if you exposed yourself to different things, right? Like, you would probably hang out with different people that do better shit that is more aligned with like your true sense of self, right?
Right.
That, yeah. Did you talk about that a lot in therapy? Do you talk about like that side of you in therapy?
Like that chaotic, destructive side?
Yeah.
Not really. I mean, to be completely honest, I haven't talked to my therapist in a while.
Okay.
I gotta hit her up.
Yeah, shit. You haven't said I've got therapy tomorrow in a while.
No,
yeah,
I have
right.
not. I haven't. I don't know what happened. I think I just kind of dropped the ball, but I did a little bit, not to the extent that I was telling her all the stuff that I'm like kind of spilling on the podcast, you know, episode by episode, but I think she equates it oddly to like me having like really supportive, like almost to the point of overbearing parents. Me wanting to like get away from like this like, we love you, we support you, but we want to keep you safe always kind of thing. So I was like, I'm gonna go out and fucking do bad shit because I can, which is weird.
No, but like I mean, whatever her take is her take. But like I think
sure.
you know the same way that I was like, okay, this is why I did what I did. Ask yourself more, maybe.
Yeah, no, dude.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like I think you said that chaos still persists, and like and even as
bit. Not as extreme
for sure, and I get that, but like but as long as it does persist, and as long as you also like, it does seem like you welcome it, and it makes sense, right? Because like you are a little chaotic, and like it is part of your charm.
Yeah.
Like you're a little all over the place. I guess it's you, but I also know that same chaos is something that you struggle with from time to time. Time management.
Oh yeah.
And like there's
sure.
a chaotic energy that you have in you that you enjoy,
yeah,
and you see in a positive light.
Well, I also think it's like trying to not get to be non-confrontational. I would rather do something chaotic and a little crazy and out there to avoid the confrontation. Like this just popped into my head. I used to live in like a brownstone next to like a bunch of other brownstones, neighborhoody street, and there's my neighbors every night would double park their cars, play super loud music, and just like party all night, like late into the night. And I was like, this is getting freaking out of hand. I can't sleep. I got to wake up early in the morning. I got shit to do. I was like, I don't know how to stop this. We've, you know, tried to be like, hey, can you guys like keep it down, please? They just don't care. So I asked my roommates, I was like, dude, what if I got a BB gun? And I went up on our roof and went like a couple houses down. And then on one of these nights when it just happened, I just start, you know, popping little BBs over there and just,
See what happens.
see what happens every time. And they were like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Are you dude, don't ever do that. Please do not bring a BB gun into this house. But like that is where my brain goes. I'm like, okay, clearly the problem is not being solved amicably with like diplomacy. I'm going to figure it out in a way that gets even.
Yeah,
I'm going to ruin your night.
For sure. But I think
which is not the way to do this.
It's not. And that's still, but I think that energy, like, and it's fine because like you're smarter now and you're older and you're less impulsive, so you won't act on.
Yes.
But I think that there's a part in there still that you also just deem as like, okay, like this is me literally challenging your moral compass and like challenging to get to know yourself better a little bit, where I'm like, I think at times it might be, I think there's just something maybe to learn for you still. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
So maybe you go do that.
Yeah, maybe I will. Maybe I'll go fucking figure it out.
Do you want to do Dan's takeaway? It's not flowing.
I don't think I have a takeaway today. I think you made a really solid point about like understanding yourself and why you do the things you do. Like you said it way more eloquently than I could even try to remember and say. But
way more eloquently than you could even try to remember.
Yeah.
Wow, way to put yourself up, my guy.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Well, I just know that there's no shot I can even remember what you said. But
yeah, that's okay. But like I don't think I do.
You did make a really good point about, I don't know, it was about like sort of doing the inner work to understand why you're operating the way that you do.
Yeah, like to like I did something, I didn't like it, so like let me understand why I'm doing it. Let me undo it systematically rather than like hope
at the root.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like exactly.
Which
that's our takeaway.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Anyway, don't tell the cops or I'll fucking find you.
He doesn't get mad. He gets even. So, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week.
Next week.
Yeah.
With a whole slew of more stuff.
More things. Will he get jailed? We'll know.
It's all a prank. It's all right. See you guys.
Bye.